Hey everyone, and welcome to this new speed build in The Sims 4. And the house I'm building today is actually a house that I've already built. And I need to explain a few things first before I go into telling you why I redid this house and everything. So, if you've been on the channel for a little while, you must know of a family called the Lemon Color family. If you don't know about them, there's already I think like 10 videos, 10 current household update videos on this family. But pretty much I've started off with two Sims, Azure Color and Jeremiah Lemon, which is why this family was called the Lemon Color family. And they had triplets who then had children, and I played through 5 generations with this family. And then I stopped when seasons came out because I wanted to experience a bit more seasons, and the children that I had in my 5th generation were not children that I thought would suit the gameplay of seasons because I wanted to experience a bit more the gardener career. I wanted to play around all of the new things that were added with seasons, and so I just left this family on the side and I started off a new current household. I actually tried out the Spring into Summer and Autumn into Winter Legacy Challenge, which I actually stopped because I was not having that much fun with it, to be honest. And then I wanted to go back and play with them again, but for some reason I could not find the save with those Sims. And I was actually really sad, and something that I usually do not do in my game is just, once I played with Sims, I don't want to play with them again and redo their entire story, because usually I just try to recreate the story that they had before and try to, well, pretty much recreate the gameplay that I already did. So that's why I did not play with Azure and Jeremiah anymore, neither with their children and everything, because I had in mind the story that they already had, and I thought that I was not going to have that much fun. So I tried to create different current households, maybe 2 or 3 different current households with the same family dynamics. So I started off with 2 Sims who were in a relationship and ones who were not in a relationship because I thought it would add a bit more challenge in a way. And eventually I ended up being very bored with those Sims, and I was just thinking about Azure and Jeremiah. So I decided to do something that I usually do not do, which is start over with Azure and Jeremiah. And at some point in their life, during the first time I played with them, they ended up living in this house, which was not exactly the same. So about this house a bit more now. This house is inspired from the house that you can see in Stranger Things. It's the house where Winona Ryder and her 2 boys live, though this house, it's kind of the mirror effect of how the house is originally in Stranger Things, or how I think this house is. So that's why this house is very simple. It's like a rectangle. It looks like a little bit of a ranch type of house with a huge port at the front. And also I wanted to do a little bit of a challenge in a way with this house, because I'm building it in the neighborhood where there's the vet clinic, and in this neighborhood there is this empty lot with a few trees on it, and I wanted to not move the trees and just place the house around the trees, you know, where there was enough room for the house to be built. So this is why the house is actually far off in the lot and not in the front of the lot. And that's why, you know, I wanted to do a little bit of a challenge this way. And it was actually really interesting when I came to start working on the backyard, because the back of the house, there's not that much room. So I did not, usually, you know, I place the table and the barbecue and everything behind the house, but this time I decided to place everything at the front of the house, which might seem weird, but I've actually seen this in real life. Some of my friends, their parents had their backyard, or actually their front yard, in front of their house, and had all of their barbecue and eating area outside in the front of their house because they did not have enough room at the back. So this is what I did also with this house, and I just love this house so much. It looks really like a family house. So a little bit more about Azure and Jeremiah. As I said, I've started off with them again, and at first, when I first played with them, I played on the normal lifespan, and that's how I managed to go through 5 generations with this family, because the time goes very quickly when you're playing with the normal lifespan. But this time I'm playing with the long lifespan, because I thought when I first played with Azure and Jeremiah then that the time just went too quickly, you know, it was too fast, and I did not enjoy as much playing with them as I would have liked to. And then they had actually triplets, and I was not able to go through all of the different households of their children because I loved them equally and I just wanted to play with all of them, and I had to focus on only one of them, and it was very sad because I ended up being very frustrated. So this time I'm playing with the long lifespan. I'm not planning on having them have triplets again because it was very challenging. Like taking care of 3 toddlers at once, it was very difficult, and they did not have enough money. And at the time, I was actually trying out the MC Command Center. And with this mod, you can actually have the risky pregnancy woohoo thing, risky woohoo, which actually can end in a pregnancy without even trying for a baby, and Azure and Jeremiah, after only 2 woohoos, ended up having those triplets, so it was very difficult. But this time I'm playing as I would have liked to play without the MC Command Center, because I actually took off that mod from my game. A little while ago I realized that it was actually more glitchy than I thought, you know, there was a lot of issues with that mod. Maybe I'm the only one having those, maybe I'm not taking care of my game enough, I don't know, but it was very annoying, so I just took it off. And this time, as I said, I'm playing with the long lifespan, and I would like for Azure and Jeremiah eventually to come and live in this house. So I've just been playing with them for a few days. In The Sims, it's been like a couple of weeks. In real life, it's been like maybe 5 days or something. And something really interesting happened. Because I have Get Famous in my game, and I've mainly played with Get Famous only when I tried out the actress career or actor career, or when my Sims were just trying out to make some videos and become famous this way. But I actually placed Jeremiah in the business career, so I actually also did not change their traits and aspirations. So Azure is still jealous, she still has the Renaissance Sim aspiration, she's also very athletic, and I forgot her 3rd trait. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. And Jeremiah, he still has the bodybuilder aspiration. He's also a foodie, he's an insider, and I forgot his other trait as well. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter as well. But at first, when I first played with him, I placed him right away into the athletic career. But this time I want to play it a bit more in a realistic way, and you cannot have your dream job right away. So Jeremiah went into the business career, and he worked there for a little while. He got a promotion, so he was on the level 2. And then I had one of those pop-up window that allows you to pick a choice, you know, choose something for your Sims, though it was one of the new ones that came with Get Famous. And he actually discovered some information about his company or the company he was working for. And they were actually making bad numbers or something. Like there was some blackmailing and things like that. It was very bad. And he could either decide to forget about all that thing or reveal everything. And he decided to reveal everything because he's a good guy. He doesn't want for anyone to be left aside, and you know, he just wanted to do the good thing, and he did the good thing, though doing that made his company go into bankruptcy, and so the company shut down. So he ended up being fired, which was very surprising because I didn't know that this was something that could happen in The Sims 4, and I was very pleased to see that because this was something that could happen in The Sims 2, but I didn't know that it could happen as well in The Sims 4, so really pleased by that. So he ended up being fired, and by just doing that, he earned a star fame level, so he was a notable newcomer. And then he got a fame quirk, and he now cannot control his emotions, so whenever he's sad and whenever he's angry, he's going to become enraged and very sad. And that was because when he got his first star, he was very sad, and I think it's because of that mood that he ended up having this fame perk or fame quirk. Anyway, I was very surprised by that. So right now, Jeremiah doesn't have a job, and he also has a good reputation. He earned his good reputation recently, and I'm waiting for someone to call him over, and not call him over, but you know, ask him to join a career, so to see what he can maybe go into. And maybe he's going to go through different careers like that until he finally gets an opportunity into the athletic career. As for Azure, she is in the writer career. I remember when I first played with Azure and Jeremiah, she completed her aspiration, and then I gave her the best-selling author aspiration because she was writing a lot, and I feel like it's the aspiration that follows great after the Renaissance Sim aspiration, because with this aspiration, when you complete it, you can actually write books about the skills that you've mastered. So if you reach the level 10 of a skill, you can write about those skills. And so I thought that you could write about her story as being a mom of triplets and struggling in life, and also how to learn new things, because I imagine Azure not I think for me that Azur never went to university. She would have liked to, but she either didn't have the money or she had her children too soon and she could not go in there as well. So she learned most of the things she knows by just working alone, you know, she learned everything by herself. And then she decided to write books about how to learn things on your own as a young mother, as a stay-at-home mom, or maybe just with a single little job and not that much time, how to learn new things, pretty much. And so that's why I gave her, afterwards, in my first playthrough with them, the best-selling author aspiration. So this time I decided to place her into the writer career, so this way she can start working on her writing skill. But with the Renaissance Sim aspiration, you actually need to reach the level 3, I think, or maybe the level 5, I don't remember. But you need to reach a certain level of 3 careers, maybe level 3 or level 5 of 3 careers. So for now, she's working in the writer career, soon she's going to change. She doesn't have a good reputation or a bad reputation. She's not really into the fame light or everything. And I feel like being famous actually suits Jeremiah quite a bit because I think he would love to become a very famous athlete. So this is very interesting. And that's how I decided to recreate this house, because eventually I want for them to come and live in here in Brindleton Bay, in this house, which was pretty much the house where they first live, and I feel like it's Jeremiah and Azur's house. It's their house. It cannot be anyone else's house. Of course, it can be you guys and your Sims' house, but for me, it's really Azur and Jeremiah's house. So if you want to, I can upload the updated version of Azur and Jeremiah on the gallery, though I've used a lot of custom content on them, so you might not have all of the custom content that I've used with them, but it's fine, you know. Most of their hair is actually not custom content. Some of their clothes are, but not a lot actually. But at first when I first created them, I just used items from the game, and then I started using custom content, and now I'm just using a lot of custom content, so that's why I'm saying that there's a whole bunch of custom content on them. But yeah, I'm just very excited to be back with Azur and Jeremiah, and I've been enjoying The Sims so much more since I've started playing with them again. So very excited to see where their lives is going to go and how things are going to play out. And of course I've placed them as well in the apartment that they were first living in and that they had to give up because of their triplets, but this time they can live in there for longer because there is no risky woohoo. But maybe if I feel like it, maybe they can have an accidental baby, because that's how I like for my Sims to have children, at least at first. I like for their first children to be an accident. I don't know why. Maybe because I myself was an accident with my parents, so maybe that's why. I don't know, I really like that kind of storylines, like you did not plan for a baby and then you end up with that baby and you love that baby so much that you want to have another one, and there you go, you have a family. I don't know, I like that storyline. And that's pretty much how I want for Azur and Jeremiah to play their lives. And so as you can see, this is here that I've placed the little front yard where you can eat and everything. And even though it's in the front yard, there's this tree, this kind of cherry tree, I don't know, that hides the table away, so it's still quite secured, you know, it's still quite private and intimate, so people, by just walking by the house, would not see you eat outside, so that's fine. And behind the house, as you may have seen, I've also placed a swing set, because of course this is a family house, and I decided to turn this room into an office, because there's already 3 bedrooms in the house, but this can easily be turned into a 4th bedroom. But anyway, I'm going to leave you here, guys, so I hope you like this house. Of course, everything is in the description if you want to go and download this house on the gallery. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you in the next one.